Had to remember. I had to pull these guys out. You know? It's Halloween, man. For the most part. Today's video or live will be Halloween. First off, hello everyone. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Face, card making space, live, unscripted, unfiltered. Throw those on the floor. And it's just me. The unpaid intern is doing regular life stuff. He only is able to help me out on Sundays. So it is just me. And yes, I was like scrambling around before the live started to add my little countdown with some spooky music. I was trying to like add editing and all those things. Not fun, but I figured it out. So that's kind of fun. And hello to everybody tuning in. I gave everyone as much notice as possible. I had wanted to do a bonus live all week. Life got in the way. So tonight, why not? Why not? Okay. I think everything is working and doing what it needs to be doing. Yeah, we're live. Everything is good. I've linked to everything I plan on using in the doobly-doo below the video. That applies to all my videos. I always link to all my supplies in the description box below my videos. My links are affiliate links. Always. They're always affiliate links. It's just easier. That just means that if you click on one of my links and then you end up ordering something, I get a little kickback from that. It doesn't cost you anything extra ever because I wouldn't use them otherwise. And yeah, it's what helps pay the bills and keep the lights on and all the things. And then the other thing, let me switch the camera down. Just make sure I get the right one. I posted this one using some of the Pretty Pink Posh new release. That video I posted in the description box below as well in case you missed it. But I made this little spider shaker card. And he was super cute and super fun. And yeah, there's a video for it. So it's linked below if you want to check it out later. And then everything else seems to be working. So yeah, got that linked. And what else? Yeah, we're following the spider theme. I know. Usually, let me try to pile things up behind me. I've talked about this many times. I have severe arachnophobia. Like legit. Real life me arachnophobia. Not fun. And it sucks because I work in my garage, for those that aren't aware. This space is in my garage. It's the only space we had left. So yeah, I no like the spiders at all. However, for whatever reason, my brain is fine with them when they are little spiders for Halloween cards. Doesn't faze me. These ones are super cutesy, but I can even do the creepy, realistic looking ones when it is paper, you know? But real ones, no. You just, no, and no. So, yes, this will get added. Let me get back to my face. Burp. So, this video will be part of my Halloween series for those that might not be aware. I do a Halloween series. I've been doing one. We're at year 14 now. And no schedule for those either. I post them whenever I can fit them in. Sometimes some of them will be lives like this. Most of them are pre-edited, you know, and shorter videos and all that stuff. And then I just add to them as I get them done. And yeah, I think that's all the housekeeping we needed to go over. I'm pretty sure that was everything. So let's get into making some cards. So let me switch it back down. There we go. So yeah, we're using the super cute little Spider Friends set. And before I went live, I actually pre-colored a bunch of it just to save us all some time because I'm not doing anything too crazy in terms of the coloring. Like this is going to be basic Copic colorings. Let's just zoom in. There we go. So I stamped the images. This is Simon Says Stamps, smooth white, 120-pound cardstock. And I inked them up and stamped them with the Rainbow Splash black ink and then Copic markers. Any alcohol markers are going to work. And all we got to do is color this guy and these little bits and then add some little white highlights. And then we'll be off to the races. So for all my little spiders, I'm using, make sure I can actually put these where you can see them on screen, cool grays. When you are coloring images that you want to be black, you want to use grays so that you can build up some depth and dimension. Because if you went in with a solid black marker, you're not going to see anything. You know, you're going to lose their little faces or whatever it is you're coloring. You're going to lose all the detail and it's just going to look flat. So grays for the win. For these guys, I'm doing lighter grays, but his hat, I'm going to go darker so it'll make a little more sense. But grays is what you need. So I go darkest to lightest when I'm doing alcohol marker coloring. That's just a convenience thing. If you are new to alcohol markers, you know, don't have a lot of practice with them, I recommend doing lightest to darkest, because with anything, if you're going in with your lighter shades first, it is easier to add darker areas, but you cannot take away. So going darkest to lightest can sometimes be more intimidating for newer colors or colors that just don't have, you know, a lot of experience. For years, I colored with my Copics lightest to darkest. It does, and it gives you the most control. Me going darkest to lightest, it's a convenience and laziness factor. Like I can do less blending and move on with my life and not have to worry about it, you know? And yes, he could be a Halloween themed get well soon card. I like the little mummy spider. I think he's funny. I always like mummy characters for Halloween stuff. I don't know why. They just crack me up for some reason. So for these guys, I'm doing a 4-color blend. Usually I don't do more than 3 because it's also, again, a convenience, laziness sort of thing. But my markers right now, I already went outside the lines, whatever. The ones I'm using are getting a little bit dry and I need to get refills for them. So they don't have as much juice in them to do like good blending. So that's also why I'm doing a 4-color blend, because it just makes things blend a little bit more seamless. But I'm also not doing, am I being stalked? Oh, he is there. Okay. Yes. The unpaid intern is able to check in from his computer upstairs. So he's not in the room with me. You know, he's not fully moderating, but he's helping out a bit. And no giveaway when I do bonus lives. I don't tend to do card giveaways with them because, again, for the most part, it's just me running the show and it's just a lot of extra work. The Sunday lives are when we do the card giveaway, which tomorrow is Sunday. I'm going live, planning to still. Our scheduled 2 p.m. Central Time, as usual. That is the plan, to go live again tomorrow. So back-to-back live streams. Woohoo. Why not? So we're gonna, oof, this one is like So dry. My marker is so dry. Anyway, I'm not really super concerned about getting like a perfect blend. Because again, perfection's overrated. But I'm also kind of annoyed. Because this marker is just... Because I also used it a whole bunch before I went live, coloring all these images. And I'm like, if I can just get enough out of it to finish these. And then I can set them aside to wait for a refill. And then we'll be good. We'll be good. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. We'll survive. In fact, I'm going to take... Where's a C1? The closest I've got. Here. Doop. Do you recommend other types of alcohol markers? I've done tons of videos. I have playlists upon playlists on my YouTube channel. I have Olo markers, and I use those and love them. I have the Altenew alcohol markers. I've done a couple videos on those, and I really like them. I've done a whole bunch of videos using the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend alcohol markers. Those are decent. I enjoy them. They're definitely lower quality, but they're fun. So yeah, tons of them. Tons of those videos, and they're all separated into playlists on my YouTube channel. Okay, there we go. Got a bit of a better blend on that guy with just that one. So that works. And then I need to take... Where's my colorless blender? It's around here somewhere. There it is. Okay. So take my little color blender. You can barely tell I went over the line like just a smidge. Just found out Olo has a new set of colors. Well, they're planning on... I don't think Olo's released them yet, or have they? I haven't been checking. I know Olo was planning on releasing a whole bunch more colors. And yeah. And Olo's planning on releasing fine tip nibs. That was supposed to come out at some point this year as well, which... Want. Okay. So, we got to add little blush to these guys, you know, because they're cutesy. So, we'll just add in a little bit of that pink. And then his hat. So, I want this to be basically a black witch's hat. So, I'm starting with C10, which is very, very, very dark. Just like that. And I'm only adding just a little bit. Just like this. A little bit right there. We'll add a little smidge right there. So I start with that. And then I'm going down to C8. Also very dark, but not quite as dark. And kind of blend those two together. Pull this out just a little bit more. Using a really light hand with this. There we go. And then onto the C6. And I'll blend that into those other two shades. And that way I get a nice dark hat, but it's not solid black. And then it's still got a bit of dimension to it. Add in some right there. Color that in. There we go. There we go. And you could do the same thing with these guys, but the reason I didn't want to go super dark with these is, again, I didn't want to obscure their little faces, you know? But also, they're cute. You could do whatever colors you want. You could do whatever colors you want. I like the Altenew ones because they're color families. Yes, the Altenew alcohol markers, they are really nice. I plan on using them in more videos in the future. And the Altenew ones match their ink colors, etc., which is kind of a nice perk. Do you find the Olo Cool Grays are more purple than Copics? I think they are. Just wait. Yes, Olo, just a slight detour. Oh, I don't even have them on here. Oh, I do. Never mind. I have these hex charts, by the way, are from Sandy Elnock. They are a purchase. They're only like $5, something like that, for a hex chart. I highly, highly, highly recommend. She's got them for Olos. She has them for Copic. She has them for a lot of different products, like coloring mediums. And I just highly recommend. So sandyelnock.com/hex chart. Highly recommend these. They are worth it. And like I said, they're like $5. And then you print them off. When you print them onto the same type of cardstock that you color on. Do not print them on the cheap stuff. You just defeat the whole purpose. And then, yeah, filled them in. I did this in a video. This one I did. This is in my Olo marker playlist. So anyway, yes, the Olo Cool Grays. It's kind of hard to tell on screen, but they are a little bit more purplish than Copic. Copic's Cool Grays are more almost in a neutral, but Copic does have neutral grays, which I haven't even filled those in with mine. Do I have the neutrals? Yes, I do. The warms are similar between Olo, but yeah. So anyway, shout out Sandy Elnock though. The hex charts, game changer. I refer to these hex charts all the time. They are invaluable. Invaluable because she organizes them how they look to her. So it's not, she doesn't go by the number. She goes by like what color works with what color. So anyway. Those were the greens I used. So the green was YG 25, 23, 21. That's what I used for that. And then for his little hat band, I'm just using V25. Gonna just doop, 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 doop. Simple. And then blend that out with V22. Yes, those hex charts are a game changer. Like I refer to mine every single time I use my markers. They are so useful. And I need to redo mine because mine has faded a bit. My Copic one especially has faded a bit. And then I want Y26 for the little buckle. Doop, just like that. And then what I forgot to do was I took C00 just to add to the white areas of the little candy corn. And then the oranges, I used all the same colors for the little orange stripes, the individual pumpkin. So that was YR07, and that's what we're going to use for this little guy. So YR07 as my darkest shade. Copic blending. So I have been coloring with Copics for close to 20 years. Again, never compare your practice and your early attempts. You know, never compare your day one with someone's day 3,000 and something. I haven't colored with them every day for 20 years, but I have been coloring with Copic markers and alcohol markers. Yeah, for about 20 years. And I'd be even better at it if I wasn't so flighty and constantly changing how I color. Like I'm jumping around constantly. It's like, ooh, this set of markers, watercolor, ink blending, you know. I don't stick with anything because I get bored and then I want to try something else. So, yeah. Not a regret though. It's fun. So that was that one. And then the final shade was YR02. Okay. So blend this last little bit like that. So those were the orange shades I used for everything. And then for this little guy, this is where I'll use just some light, very light, warm gray shades. just to add, you know, a bit of depth to his little bandages. To his little mummy bandages, because seriously, how can you not? You know, so just a little bit. And then we'll go in with W1 to blend that a little bit, just like so. And then I'll take my W00 and just go over all of it to blend it all, soften them out. And there we go. So that was how I did the mummy bandages. And then for the little witch's broom, I'm using the Y26 again. Derp. And then just kind of flicking it up like that. Doop, doop, doop. And then I'm going in with Y19. And then the Y19 is, and the Y08 that I'm going to use, that's what I used for the little candy corn. And same thing, just dragging that up. And then we'll go in with the Y08. Doop. So there's that. And then for the little ferrule, I'll just use the C4 like that. And then for the broomstick, I'm using E25 and then E23, and that's the same thing I used for the stems of the pumpkins. Just keep it simple. There's no need to overthink it. So we'll do that one, and then that one. Just blend them together. And that are the colored images with the magic of television and pre-coloring things ahead of time. And now I need to get all these markers out of the way so I actually have space on my desk. And that cup's not on. Can I squeeze them all in there? Heh, that works. Okay, set those there so I don't lose them. Then, do you have a list of Copics or Copic blends used frequently? An old one. I did a video many, many years ago. It'll be on my channel. This is a Jelly Roll 10 gel pen. I'm just going to add random little highlights wherever I feel like they're needed. I'm not really too worried about a light source. Yeah, I'm not the one to ask really for frequent colors and blends. I am someone who likes to have all the colors, and it always depends on my mood. So, yeah, take all of that with a grain of salt. So we got that. And then I'm going to go and do that. And then I saw, do different companies use the same identifying number to describe the same color? No, they do not. It would be nice, but color is in the eye of the beholder. And it does vary by company. And no one needs multiple types. You do not need to have like Copics and Olos and Ultimate alcohol. Like I don't even need to have every single, like I don't have every single alcohol marker. Would I like to have them all? Yes. Do I need them? No. Can I afford them? No. So, like I said, take it all with a grain of salt. To add just little dots and highlights, you know? So, I'm going to keep going here. And the thing to remember with a gel pen, whether it's this specific one or just any gel pen, the biggest thing to remember is you need to use it consistently. Gel pens, if they sit for months on end and you didn't use it, and then you pull it out and you're like, why isn't this working? Because they dry up in the tip. Sometimes you can rework it. One thing I will do sometimes if it's sat for a little bit, but I use mine consistently, so I never really have to do this. But before I figured this out, what I would do is if my gel pen wasn't working, like I'd grab a scrap of paper and I'd try scribbling it on it. Sometimes that'll work, just scribble it on a scrap of paper. Other times, like warming it up in your hand a bit and then like scribbling on your hand, because just the heat from your skin will kind of warm up the roller ball. You can also try gently, and I do mean gently heating this, like with a heat tool, you know? Be very careful doing this because heat tools like what we used to heat emboss with will melt this if you're not careful. But like just a little bit of gentle heat. I even had someone comment and say that they had their heated blanket on them and they had this kind of tucked in the heated blanket and it worked. So yeah. Is there a difference between gel pens and glaze pens? Yes. The Jelly Roll glaze pens are like there's a clear one. I think there's only one. There might be other ones, but I think there's only one Jelly Roll like glaze pen and it's clear. It actually leaves a little bit of a glossy finish. I have one around here somewhere. I haven't used it in many years. So it will be dried out because I haven't pulled it out. But it is a fun little way to add a little bit of gloss. Oh, maybe is the black one considered a glaze pen? Now I'm curious. Where's my black glaze pen? Oh, yeah. There's the black one as well. Black, it's not going to really show up. Glaze. Yeah, and these just have a really shiny finish to them. So yeah, I've got the black ones and I think maybe there's some metallics. Like I could use the black to add little, like make their eyes more obvious. Let me see if this one's even going to work. Because again, I don't use this very often. Oh yeah. He is. Okay, so I can. We can use the glaze pen just to go over their eyes and it just makes it a little bit deeper. But yes, there's a few different options for the glaze pens. I don't really, this is the only one I've used, this black one. And then, like I said, there's a clear one that I've used in the past. I'm not even sure if it's by Sakura. But yeah, it just emphasizes. It's nice for little critter eyes like that. And actually for mine, because I don't use this very often, there's most gel pens, a lot of them have this little like cap. You're meant to like pop it off when you first get it and then never use it again. I actually put this, like I keep it, even though mine's getting full of like ink, but I keep it on there, or try to anyway, because of course now when I'm live, I'm not going to be able to do it. But I keep it on there to just keep it sealed a little bit more. So yeah, anyway, back to what I was doing. So yeah, with Sakura, there's many different, like there's glitter pens, there's the Jelly Roll pens, there's glaze, sky's the limit. So many options. So I'm gonna kind of follow the little webs and just give it that little extra something. That's kind of fun. And I'm trying not to get my hand in any of this so that I don't smear any of the gel pen. A little bit like that. And then like that. And then that one. There we go. So now they've got little highlights. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. So yeah, there's our coloring. Super awesome. Now let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. And then we got to die cut these guys. So there is a coordinating die set, which I had all the pieces right here. So we can line up all the wafer dies with all these images. And I love that, like the one for the little pumpkin bucket cuts out that center part. Love it. Okay. And then line up this one. Okay. And yeah, people ask me, because sometimes I will tape my wafer dies into place with washi tape or other low tack tape. It just depends. I start having to do that when my magnet mat, my Anna Griffin Empress magnet mat, when it really gets cut into, like I've been using it for a few months and it's getting pretty worn out. I can tell because it stops like being as magnetic, and more often than not I have to start taping my dies into place because I will use my mats until there is nothing left of them. I don't care. So I'm feeling sort of confident. We'll see. To use the black. I just did use the black glaze pen on this. I didn't link to it because I wasn't planning on using it, but I'll add it to the supplies later if I remember. Okay, so we got everything lined up. And then run that through the die cut machine. And then take a drink while it's running through. Okay. So now we've got all our little guys and they're all super cute. Love it. And then this one, yes, cuts out in between. Also super cute. Again, I don't like spiders, but these guys, they're adorable. How can you not love them? Okay. And then that one. And there we go. And then our little mummy. He's so cute. Okay. So before I went live, I had actually stamped and colored a bunch of these. So I can mix and match because I'm not 100% sure yet. I've got a rough idea what we're going to make today. But now I quickly want to add, I really like how I did the highlight on these, like kind of tracing the web. So I'm going to do that quickly on this one and this one. Doop, doop, doop. So yeah, I colored all these the exact same colors, same everything, nothing crazy. So fix that, and then I'll use the black glaze pen. So you can see the difference. It's kind of the bonus of doing things ahead of time. With the pen, without. So even though it's so subtle, it makes quite a big difference. Here, let me zoom in a bit again. There we go. So yeah. With, without. With the black glaze, without. With, without, you know? Like, again, it's subtle. And I always forget to use this, so I'm glad you asked that. And then I got reminded that it's like, hey, I have this pen. I just don't use it very often. There we go. So now they're all matchy-matchy. There we go. Just like that. And yes, it is shiny. I don't know if it's going to really show up like on camera. Because it's such a small area. There you go. Yeah, you can see it. See? Their eyes are shiny. They're shiny. Okay. So let me quickly add that to the supply list. There we go. And then if I quickly I can add that to the bottom of the supply list. And now we're good to go. Okay, so now it's all added to the supply list. So it's like a pack of 2, and they're not very much. So those are in the supply list now, and just you wait. But wait, there's more. you know? Okay, there we go. So we're going to set these guys aside. Got a whole pile of spiders. Ones that aren't going to freak me out, you know? So got all these little spiders, and we got pumpkins and all the things. So set those aside. Now, I have not done this technique in a really, really, really long time, but I was reminded of it when I did the video hop with Pretty Pink Posh a few days ago. Carly Minner did this, and I linked to her video in the description box below because, yeah, one, her videos, her cards are just so cute, and they're using other element, like similar elements from the release, and I was like, oh yeah, this is so fun. This is so fun. So, wafer die. I'm using, this is the, what is this one called specifically? The Spider Web cover plate. And then what you need is a double-sided adhesive sheet. One that you can die cut. I know these ones can be. These are the Ultinew double-sided adhesive sheets, and they die cut fabulously. Because some double-sided adhesive sheets do not. I remember trying this technique years ago, and I wanted to throw everything in the trash and just light it on fire. I was so frustrated. I don't know what ones I was using. They weren't these adhesive sheets. They were some other brand of double-sided adhesive sheets, and I was trying to die cut, and they stuck to everything. They gummed up my die cut machine. They were awful. They were awful. It was an awful experience. I was traumatized, and that's probably why I mentally made myself forget about this technique. And then watching Carly's video, I was like, I had these. These should work. And they do. Because I tested it before we went live so that, I'm not going to sit here and cry during a live when I'm like, it doesn't work. It does. So, double-sided adhesive sheet. This is just how it looks. And I'm just going to cut this to size. A smidge bigger. Now, what you can do with these, because these are really, really, really thin. The actual adhesive that's sandwiched in between here is super thin. And what you can do is peel off one layer, expose the adhesive, and I could press my cardstock into this and then die cut it. And then the back you would just peel off, and it basically will turn any cardstock into a sticker, basically. That's what you can do with it. But that's not what we're going to do today. But that is what you can do with it. So I'm just going to die cut this as is, because that's what Carly's video reminded me. And I was like, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. So we are going to run this through with that spiderweb cover plate, just like this. And then, thank you to my unpaid intern. Again, he's not in the room with me. He's upstairs. He's multitasking. He's stalking me. He's the only one I allow to stalk me. I don't like the other stalkers I have to deal with, and I'm not even joking. Anyway, thank you for helping. Okay, so now it's die cut. And we just got to get rid of some of the excess. Some of the larger pieces you could probably save and use on backs of small pieces of cardstock, That would be totally doable. Heck, even some of these other ones, if you wanted to die cut little confetti bits, little stars, little tiny whatevers. So, yeah. But all I want is the actual cover plate. Where's my little doop? Okay. So I want to get all of these. I'm not stalking, just a massive fangirl. Yeah, he's my number one fan. Okay. Let's get all of these pieces. And see, this is why I like the Ultinew double-sided adhesive, because this works. Whatever the other brand was that I used in the past, this would not have been possible. Trying to get the pieces out, it just didn't work. It didn't work. But this one, it does. So, I'm glad I have a massive amount of this stuff. I ordered like 4 packs of it. So anyway, so we can just pop this out of here. There we go. Okay, so we have this. And right now, both of the backings on here, so it's not sticky or anything. And now I'm going to do something a little bit risky for me. I'm going to adhere this directly to my card base. And if I can't line it up, we'll do it a second time. All right. But I thought I would try this. I tested this, but I didn't test it directly on the card base. And now I'm like, this might be a bad idea. This might be a bad idea. But I really want this to work. Okay. So my card base is an A2 top folding note card, 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. So there's our card base. And then we're going to be putting this on to here. So to do that, we're going to take off the back layer of the backing paper, which takes a second when you run it through a die cut machine. Okay. I want to make sure that I do not curl up the adhesive, which I already did because I'm an idiot. But that's okay. Okay. So I'm peeling off just the back layer like that. Carefully. Boop. And then I'm going to line it up. You can line it up on the scoreboard. I don't like doing that. I've tried it before. I don't like it. I prefer just freehanding it. So I'm just going to line it up with the corner. I'm not pressing it really, not yet, so that I can slowly, because it's sticking to my fingers. There we go. Just making sure. There we go. There we go. So right now I have this. Okay. There we go. So it's adhered. And then I'm going to really press it down with my I'm just using a bone folder just to make sure the adhesive is really good and adhered. I have a little bit of a margin on the bottom of my card. You guys probably can't even see it. I can. It's bugging me. So I'm just going to trim off like a hair off the bottom of this. Just like that. Okay. So now it's the web is going edge to edge to edge. Get rid of that. Now, I got to peel off the upper layer, and that's going to expose the double-sided adhesive. So we have that, and it's sticky. So this is where people are going to freak out, because now we're going to use loose glitter. However, rock candy distress glitter. If you've never worked with this stuff, this is an exception to all other forms of loose glitter. I don't know what Ranger does with this, but they, first off, thank you, Dawn. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. I don't know what Ranger does to this, but it is not staticky. It's not. It's not at all. Like, I guess you can't even really tell, but it's not clinging to like the sides of the jar, etc. There's just something unique about rock candy. This will work with any glitter, any fine glitter. It's fine. I know glitter freaks people out. Trust me, I get it. I like glitter, but this stuff is not staticky. So I highly recommend if you've never tried rock candy, you should. It's fun. So we're going to dump this on here. And I've got just a piece of copy paper to catch the excess. And now it's going to be glittery. So before I pour this back in, I'm going to take actually just a bit more, just a light little bit. And I'm actually going to burnish this in with my finger just to make sure that every little bit of the adhesive is fully covered so that we don't have any sticky bits, because the last thing you want is it to be like picking up lint or dust. Although again, it's Halloween cards, so it totally could, and it be, you know, it's part of the ambiance. But yeah, I just do that. And again, it's only sticking mostly to the adhesive. However, if there's little bits, like I've got some on my hands, another thing that I love, and I've shown this for years, this is a big fan brush from Tonic. I do have a link to this. You can still get it, thankfully. And I also brush off just to remove any loose little bits. And then we've got this glittery web. How fun is this? And yeah, it's not going to go anywhere, you know? It's not going anywhere. It's contained. We can take this and funnel it back into the container. Like that. And there we go. And then you put the lid on the container. Because yes, I've talked about this before. Glitter is the herpes of the craft world. It really is. You know, it gets everywhere. But rock candy is just kind of unique. So this would also look really fun with like black glitter, purple glitter, orange, whatever. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you've got, you know? So yeah, rock candy is the most neutral of glitters because it's basically clear, you know? So yeah, props to Carly and her video, because she did it with another Pretty Pink Posh web die. Because I was like, how did she get it to look like that? And yeah, that's what she did. Was she die cut the adhesive sheet, stuck it directly to her card base, and then added glitter to it. And I was like, have to do that. How fun. So yeah, this was fun. Love it. Okay. I don't think Christine, you got to be careful adding just regular reinkers to your glitters. They can leach out of the glitter. That's why Tim Holtz recommends using alcohol inks. And he's got videos. He's done it more than once in videos. And he showed it. The most recent he showed it was when they released his alcohol and neons. He shows how he tints his glitters and stuff because there's a little bit of a process to it. It's simple. But yeah, you just got to be careful with using water-based reinkers and that. You can sort of, but it can easily start to leach out to whatever you've adhered it to. So yeah, I was going to tint some glitter to do this because I was like, oh, especially those alcohol neons. I was like, neon glitter. We'll do that another day. I don't have the time tonight to do it, and it takes time to dry. Could you use foil too? Yes, you totally could. If it is not the heat foils for like the hot glimmer machine, but the other foils that can be used with adhesives, yeah, you could press foil onto this, burnish it in really good. That would look really fun. That would look really fun. So we've got that. And then we're definitely going to have to add splatter, of course, to this. I want to add a sentiment before we do anything though. So I'm going to add a sentiment to the inside. My plan was to like go like that. Doodly doo. I'm using the Pretty Pink Posh Halloween Greetings set. I think we'll put, because I'll probably use, I think we'll heat emboss a couple for the outside of the card. So let's just put this boo to you sentiment on the inside. I think that'll look cute. That'll look cute. I've got schmutz everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, that will look cute. That's what I want to do. So that's what I'm going to do. So we got this guy. And then we'll put that like so. We'll put this right there. Yep. So we'll just get that done. And then we're gonna stamp that with the black ink. And yes, the Tim Holtz alcohol neons are just going to take a while to get to other retailers in other parts of the world. Because yes, there is a lot of shipping restrictions on things like that. Okay. I need to clean off my stamp. We'll set that aside for a minute. And then I got glitter everywhere. I love it. Okay. We're going to add a bit of glue to this little dude. We'll add some glue. We'll go like that. And then he's going to be all super cute on the inside. So we got that one. Okay. So we got that. I'm going to set that aside for a second. I've got like 20 ideas, you guys. In fact, because I want to do splatter, but I want to do, we could probably get 2 more. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Amy's crazy. Anyway, because I really like how that looked. So I'm going to do, I'll show the one, or do one similar to how Carly did it, using an oldie but goodie. This is the just spider web. This came out, I forget when. It's still available. But yeah, I have enough color, like images that I did. So let's do another one. Why not? Why not? This might be the first time in a live where I might do 3. I have one more idea. Okay. Can you imagine a Halloween tree with spiders holding candy corn strings like popcorn? That would be really cute. Honestly, if I had the time and energy, I would totally do like a Halloween tree. Like, because our Christmas tree is actually ombre. It's kind of narrow and it goes from like white to silver, almost black at the bottom. And that would look really cute for Halloween cards. It really, or like a Halloween tree, because that's become a thing now. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But yeah, I don't have the time or energy. For all of my love of Halloween, I don't decorate. Other than the little bit I do for my series. So it's like the bat light comes out and a few of my little props and like that's it. Okay. So again, die cut the double-sided adhesive sheet with that spider web. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to stick it to the card base. Let me get everything out of the way. We'll stick it to the card base. I think I'm going to stick it like that, just because I can. Okay, so does the alternate double-sided adhesive sheet have a slightly plastic backer? No. Would you be able to add ink before lifting the top layer off? You could, like, I understand what you're meaning. If I peeled up the back, put this into place, and then wanted to add ink, you could probably get away with it without, as long as you went light-handed and don't let it sit there, because like this paper, it would absorb eventually. But I think if you like did it, added a bit of ink blending, and then peeled it off and added your glitter, the area where the adhesive was would still remain whatever color cardstock you applied it to. All right, we got to peel off the backer, making sure. Yeah, okay. So I'm peeling off the back like so to expose the adhesive. And then we're going to stick this, kind of hang it off the edge here like that. So then we'll press them down like so. And then burnish it in really good with my bone folder, just avoiding that edge. And then that edge I'm going to trim off with my scissors so that it does not, you know, glue my card shut. There we go. So got that out of there. And then we just got to peel off the backing. And we've got a sticky little spider web. So then, where's that paper? There's our paper. There's, I was like, where'd the glitter go? There's the glitter. Pour it on. Rub it in really well to make sure it covers every little bit of that adhesive. Tap off the excess. Brush off any little strays. And now we've got a glittery little spider web. But wait, there's more. This last one I'm going to do, we'll just see what happens. Because again, I haven't tested this. I had the idea before I went live and I was like, let's see. So let's see. Because again, I want to do splatter. I want to do splatter and everything. Let's just try it. Let's just try it. We'll see what happens. So, because I'm in such a purple mood. So I've got, this is an A2 piece of cardstock, 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And this one we are going to do some ink blending because I want like a purpley splotchy background. Where's my blending? There it is. So Pink Fresh blending brush. And I'm just going to do a very quick and light blend with this. And the blend doesn't need to be perfect because we're going to add splatter. We're going to add splatter. So I should have technically done this one first, but I wanted to like make sure this was actually going to work. It'll make sense in a minute. So we're just going to add the purple. And this was Amethyst ink. It's linked in the supplies, by the way. Just FYI. And my blend is not the greatest. I don't really care. Because like I said, we're going to add splatter to this. Because we can. So I'm fine with this. I'm fine with it. It'll smooth out a bit too as it dries. So it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. It'll be fine. It's everything else that I'm just not sure whether or not it's going to work. So we got that. Now we need to do splatter. So we have card base number 1, card base number 2, and then this purple monstrosity. And they're all going to get splatter. Because that's what we do. Okay. So those two, the white won't matter, but it will on this one because it'll actually show up. So we're going to do some white gouache. Derp. Don't need very much. we're just gonna, and I'm getting it literally everywhere. Whatever. Where's my wipe? Okay. Where's my fan brush? And then my fan brush. Absolutely filthy water. Don't really care. I don't care if this shows up like this. I'm not aiming for this to be like stark white because I've thinned it down quite a bit. I just want the splatter. I just want the splatter for the texture and the fun. So we'll do that. Doop. Doop. Hello, Mari. I hope you're feeling better. Okay, so we got that. And then we're gonna wipe that one up. And then we're gonna have black splatter. Because Halloween cards, all cards in general, really. You can't go wrong with black splatter. Okay? Okay. Let me do that. Again, we'll add some water to thin out the black gouache. Like so. Okay. And then yes. Okay. So this guy, we need to set aside for a second. I'm going to add a third type of splatter. Trust me. I just need space. That can go there. I need a fresh backing paper. Okay. And then, because I don't want to get the backs of those card bases filthy. So we got our card bases. And we're going to stick them there. And then add a bit of the black to this as well. A bit. Whatever. It's my channel. I can do what I want. Okay. Yep, I'm fine with that. So we have black splatter. And then, as usual. But wait, there's more. Clean out my brush. Good enough. Good enough. Wipe off the schmutz. Oh, this stuff gets messy. Okay. So we got black. And then we're going to have purple. We've got some wilted violet distress paint. So it's been sitting for a long time, so you got to shake it up real good. Make sure the lid stays on. Okay. So add a little bit of this to my palette. Don't need much. Couple blobs, that's a lot. That's more than I need, but that's fine. And then same thing, I'm going to water this down a bit because it's a little thick for the type of splattering consistency that I want. Probably won't show up as much on camera, but at the end, you know, it's gonna, you can see, you can tell the difference between the purple and the black. Okay. So these two, we need to set aside and just let that dry. So we got a sparkly little web and black and purple splattery bits. And then this dude, heck yeah. So yeah, if you do a blend and you're not happy with it, add splatter. You know, just add splatter. It distracts the eye, and then you don't notice if you're not, you know, it's like, oh, things didn't blend together, or I just don't like how that looks. Add some splatter to it. It's one of the reasons why I like it so much. Okay. Distress paints are great. That's what I use them for the most, is just to splatter with. Like, I've shown also, though, you don't need all of the things. But I've shown too just tinting my white gouache with like stamping inks. I've done that too. Obviously though, distress paints, you get like the true color, which is super fun. So yeah, we got like so much splatter. And then yes, I could have added carved pumpkin, but I'm doing enough. We got enough. And I still managed to get it like all over my desk, literally. Like, let me quickly wipe some of this up because I got it everywhere. Everywhere. Okay. Let that guy dry. Some of that's already dry. I don't really care. There we go. Wipe up some of that ink that I got on my desk. And then wipe that up. Okay. Let me... And like I said, what I'm going to attempt here, I've never done before. So in theory, in my head, it looks amazing. It's really cool, but this might be a hot mess and we might have to toss it and do the other two cards, which is fine, you know? It's almost dry, but let's speed it up. Where's my... Okay, let's just speed up this drawing because this needs to be dry before I go on to the next step. Everything seems to be working. Why? There we go. Why is... Yeah, seems like everything's working. Software is like behind. There we go. Okay. Okay, well, first off, thank you, Kim. Thank you for the super chat. I love how you're so happy as you create a card. Contagious. I feel so sad. I felt so sad for you when your craft room flooded. I forgot to mention that. It flooded again. Not even kidding. It flooded today. We got, or last night, whatever. I've got fans running right now. This time around, like we moved everything last time, so it hasn't done a whole ton of damage. But yeah, it flooded even worse than last time. So life is great. I totally, yeah. Dealing with it. But anyway, thank you, Kim, for the super chat. It's almost dry because it needs to be dry. So I'm just gonna take, I got a random piece of paper towel. There was like one spot. Okay, now we're good. Okay, I want to turn this into a flat shaker, but also add the glitter element because I'm insane. I could do, let's just try it. Let's just try it. I wanted to see how this would work. So to do a flat shaker, where did I put it? There we go. I save a lot of my packaging. Oh no, shoot. I'll put a sentiment over that. I threw my cloth and it smeared some of the purple splatter. Good job, Amy. But I'll put a sentiment over that. It's salvageable. I'm not worried about it. We'll deal with that later. Anyway. Yeah, most of my stuff was moved out of within reason. The stuff, well, because the stuff got damaged. Yeah, it's in a weird spot. And again, I'm in my garage. Okay. Flat shakers. I save a lot of my packaging, like from stamp sets. Well, stamp sets and stuff, I keep in the packaging it comes in. I see no point in reusing it. But like cardstock, etc., a lot of this, you know, flimsy packaging. I have a whole bin of it. I linked to these specific ones. These are from clear bags, and I have, because Simon Says Stamp carries them, so I have a link to them in the supplies. The thing with ones like this is it's, you know, it's bigger than an A2 card, and I can get 2 shaker panels out of this because, you know, it's It's double-sided. So all I do is kind of trim it down a bit. Like that. Obviously something is still not fully dry, but whatever. And then I'm going to cut apart the 2 layers because we only need one. Like so. So I've got one piece for the shaker and then this one to save for a future flat shaker. So set that aside. And then you need strong tape. So what I'm going to do is I lay my acetate piece. I have an entire, and I'll link to it after the live in the end screen. I have a flat shaker playlist here on YouTube. I've done dozens of videos using all different types of products to make flat shakers. They're a ton of fun. So face down, got my acetate. You need a really strong adhesive. So this is some terrific tape. Score tape works, as well as red line tape. You want a really strong adhesive for something like this. I do not recommend using liquid adhesive for something like this unless you want to sit and let it dry forever. And even then, I wouldn't trust. I don't like liquid adhesive with plastic because it's not fusing to it. Whereas dry adhesives like this, literally, you know, it sticks. It's going to stay. So fold it up one end, one side. So right now, all we have is like this. So we just did one. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. So one side is sealed. Now we just rotate, doesn't matter what direction. Rotate. We're going to seal up another side like this. Oh my goodness, you guys. Give me a second here. I got adhesive laying out and I don't want to glue myself into the card. Sandra, thank you. Ah, where'd it go? There it goes. Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate it. Okay. There we go. That red line tape, OMG. You could tape a kid to a chair with that stuff. It happened by accident here once. Oh yeah, red line stuff. Red line adhesive. It's a bear to work with, but man, is that adhesive strong. Okay, so one more line. Peeled up the backing. And then we fold over this piece like that. And then we rotate it again. And then I'll put down another line of adhesive along this edge. There we go. Just like that. And then fold over this side. Now this end, whichever end, why is my comments going weird? There we go. Whichever end you've left open, I'm applying the adhesive, but we are not sealing it shut yet because you need to add your shaker bits. So we'll just put it there, but we're not folding it over yet because we got to fill our shaker. And I grabbed a few different little bits from my stash. These are all from Pretty Pink Posh. I've got some little confetti stars. They're tiny. They're tiny. I'm just going to put like a few in here because I just thought they'd be pretty because they're iridescent. Yeah. So just a few. So we got some little iridescent stars. I've got some purple shimmer confetti. So we're gonna add a few of those in as well. Why not? Why not? You know? And then to really make it shakety shake, I also pulled out some sugar plum shaker beads. I don't even know when these came out. Again, these are all still available. I got links to them. Oh my goodness, you guys. Susie, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. All of you. I appreciate all of you sitting and listening to my rambling and chaos. Okay. The shaker beads. You need to be careful with these because they like to just jump everywhere because they're just like bing, they go everywhere. So just be careful with them, and you don't, with something like this, you don't need very many. Like I'm only going to I'm going to attempt to put a few, just a few, because I like the shaker sound. Okay, set that aside carefully. And then like I got to mix it all up. Again, carefully, because you don't want to dump this. You don't want to dump this. It would suck. Okay. Okay. So I'm not putting too much because I don't want this to be like bulky. You know, this is a flat shaker. So you don't want to dump so much stuff in here, you know, entire packs of glitter. You can if you want. It's your card. Do whatever you want. But if it gets, it's going to be bulky. And I also don't want to be too bulky for what we're going to do next, you know? So now that I'm happy with my little shaker mix. So now carefully flip it over. Make sure to not, you know, flip it upside down or anything. Seal up your bags if you keep, you know, keep your bling in bags. There we go. And then we'll peel off the last bit. Oh, get it back in your home. Fold it over to seal up our shaker. So now, and it's flat. This is why I love flat shakers and why I have an entire playlist of them. So then the other thing I do, and it's always hard to show in video, but these folded over edges stick out. See, like that? They stick out a little bit. So what I do is I carefully take scissors and I just, see, I've got just that little folded out bit and I just trim it off. And that way it keeps the corners clean. Like I've got a piece hanging over here. There we go. And then just like that, slide it under there and then slide it under one more. So now all the corners aren't hanging over the edge. There we go. So now we've got a flat shaker card. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. Okay. I saw something about a Happy Gilmore flashback. I love Happy Gilmore. I'm gonna watch it again. We watched the new one, the second one. Loved it. Chris and I laughed so much. It was a good time. It was a good time. Like, I love me Adam Sandler. Like, grew up watching all those movies. Anyway, okay. I want to try the double-sided adhesive on top of this. That, with the web. Let's just see. Let's just see if this works. I have my own curiosity raised. So I'm going to take the double-sided adhesive sheet, just like so. We're going to die cut it with this web. And yes, I could have done it on the background and then added the shaker over it, but I wanted it on top. I wanted it on top. Let's just see. Let's see if this works. Like I said, it might ruin this, but we've got two other card bases, one of which I've already ruined, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Welcome to the chaos. You know, welcome to the chaos. So we're going to die cut the double-sided adhesive. Okay. Got him die cut. We're going to pop out all the innards like so. So that all we are left with is the spider web background. Also, adding just one single spot on a card should be an achievement of some sort. Oh, totally. That's Carly, who I linked to in her, like I linked to her video. But if you check out, and I've mentioned her several times, I've done other videos inspired by Carly. She is the queen of minimal splatter. She does it with a pen, and I love it. I've done it a few times because I was like, you know, she does very clean and simple cards, and they're fun. So, highly recommend. And yeah, yeah. She has way more self-control than me. Like, I'll do it every once in a while, but you guys know, I like the fan brush, and I add like 4 different kinds of splatter. Okay, this last one is just being, there you go. Okay, he's popped out. Now we just need to get that one last little piece. And then we got to get him out of his home. Get out of your home. There we go. Okay, so now we've got this. Why are my comments being weird? There we go. Okay, there we go. So, the moment of truth. Let's see if I can do this. So we got to peel off the backing. And again, you gotta make sure I'm getting the back and not the adhesive, so that the adhesive stays with the front piece. Okay, so remove the backing. This either is going to turn out really cool or it's going to be an absolute hot mess disaster. I don't think there's going to be any in between. Why not? It's a bonus live. We can experiment. Okay, got the back off. Now, to line this up, and I'm not going to get much wiggle room because I'm adhering adhesive to plastic. So there is no grace with this. So I need to, okay, just be very, very quiet. We're hunting rabbits. Okay. So this was why, oh, it's working. It's working. Oh my God. This was why I said, like, I don't want like a ton of bulk. Why I didn't like pour a ton of stuff in here, because it makes the plastic, like the acetate, bumpy and it's hard to adhere over. But so far so good. So we've got it adhered like that. It's going to be a little difficult to kind of burnish it in because, again, we got bumpy bits, but I'll just kind of, it should work. Okay. Now, if I peel up, oh, this might end up being really cool. Just wait. Gotta press down. There you go. Make sure everything's pressed down. Okay, so we have that so far. It's working. It's working. Where's my paper? There's my paper. Okay. Do not drop. Do not drop it. Do not drop it. Okay, where's the glitter? All right. Let's do it. I love it. It worked. Sometimes I'm a genius. Okay. And again, burnish it in real good with my fingers, just to make sure There are no sticky bits left. Okay. Oh, this is so fun. This is why I wanted to do it on top, so that it really stood out, and yet it doesn't. Oh, this was so fun. Love it. Okay. Brush off any excess. That is so freaking cool. Love it. Okay, let me put this back in the container before I end up like sneezing on it or something and just... Oy. Oy. Okay. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Put lid back on. Okay. So yeah. It worked. Love it. Okay. We need some sentiments. I'm like so happy that that worked. Love when the random chaos in my head actually translates. How fun is that? So we've got it on cardstock. And then on acetate. And then this one, like I said, I smidged it, but I'm going to put a sentiment, I think. Yeah, this one will work because we'll white heat emboss that one. We can do, we'll do the Hocus Pocus one. And let's do like the Spooky Wishes. Let's do those 3 sentiments for the fronts of these. So we'll set those aside. And then move that so I don't get it on top. And then I need, oh, I have a mess going on. Where's my black cardstock? I need my black cardstock. There we go. Black cardstock. And then derp. We're going to line up our sentiments like so. Oh, I've got like glitter. I have glitter everywhere. Whatever. That's the name of the game. Okay. We need, and yes, black glitter would look super cool. I have some black glitter that Tim Holtz had released, but it was discontinued. They didn't release it again, so I don't show it on my channel, sadly, because you can't get it anymore. Which sucks because it's nice. It's nice glitter. Okay, anti-static powder tool to help prevent the embossing powder from clinging to anything other than the stamped images. And then, where's my clear embossing ink? Where did it go? I had it. There it is. Okay. So, okay. We're going to ink up the sentiments with clear embossing ink. And I'm going to stamp them a couple times just to make sure I get a good full coverage. It's this one that's being a bum. Okay. There we go. So, got my sentiments. And then some white embossing powder. Just like that. And I did not do a very good job with my anti-static powder. That, and I've got fuzzies. Good job, Amy. Okay. So when that happens, I've got a few spots that had fuzzies, so they picked up the embossing powder. So a lot of times I'll use my die pick or a really fine, little tiny paintbrush, and I'll just go and just kind of scrape away carefully, because obviously this has not been melted yet. Twyla, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, depending on how badly I've got, you know, because a lot of times it's just fuzzies. Because again, being in the garage and lint and random schmutz, um, if it's just a little bit, I can fix it this way before I melt it. Otherwise, sometimes I'll just restamp it because it's like, I don't care, you know? Paper has two sides, but since we're live, I can show this, fix it up a little bit. Good enough. Good enough. Okay. Let me put the lid on here. There we go. Okay. Okay. And then stamps back with the packaging also before I melt this, because I've done that before on a live where I lost a stamp and I was like, ah, it's awful. Okay. Stick those there. Move that. Derp, derp, derp. And heat tool. Okay. There we go. Actually, I lied. There's one spot that's bugging me. There we go. Now we're good. There we go. Make sure everything is smooth and melted. Yep. Okay. Okay. So then, and especially on dark cardstock, that anti-static powder is not pretty. So I take a microfiber cloth, one that I don't use to like clean my brushes, so there's not, you know, ink sitting in this or anything. And I just buff away that excess anti-static powder. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. And then we got to die cut these with coordinating wafer dies, which are around here somewhere. Where did you go, little wafer dies? Here we go. Okay. Coordinating wafer dies. That one. Focus, focus. That one. And this one. Okay. So these guys, I am going to add a smidge of washi tape, just because it would just suck. We've come this far, and if it's like, if I mess it up, I would just be annoyed. I would just be annoyed. So I'm going to add just a little bit of washi tape just to make sure that everything there we go. There we go. And then, oh, wrong one. Wrong one. It's the other one. Put him back. It's this one that I want. There we go. Okay. Yes. Okay. So then we've got this guy and this guy. And now we can die cut these. Just like so. Yes. So now we have, ooh, get out of there, our little sentiments. And I'm going to take these dies and I'm going to die cut the rest of this just to give a second layer, just to build up a bit of dimension on these. So I don't need tape for this because we're not lining anything up, so it just does not matter. There we go. Okay. What am I doing? I am removing the washi tape. I was like, my brain just completely stopped there for a second. What else is new? Okay. I think I can fit. Oh, yeah. Perfect. So I can do that again. And then I will have another layer just to build up these sentiments a bit. And then pop those guys out like so. I had meant to do all this before I went live, but instead I was like coloring spiders and yeah. Yeah, if it's not one thing, it's another. And then I'm going to put these guys back on their packaging because same thing. Do not want to lose them. That would suck. Done with that. Get that out of the way for now. I don't think we're doing any more die cutting. And then I can quickly layer these together with some liquid glue. Just doop. So that's the Hocus Pocus one. So stack those together just to give it that little extra something. If you really normally like with actual die cut sentiments, my rule of thumb is I do 3 layers. I also use heavyweight cardstock. So all the cardstock I work with is generally 100-pound plus. So I find 3 layers is great. But with ones like this where it's just a stamped, sentiment, sometimes I'll do 2, sometimes I'll do 3. It just depends on my mood. Okay, so that's the spooky wishes. There we go. And then we'll do the little trick or treat. And we will see which one will cover my smeared splatter the best. There we go. Dirt, dirt, dirt. Stick all those together. There we go. Okay, so now we got sentiments. We got technically 2 card bases. This one I haven't even attached to a card yet. I'm going to in a second here. What I want to do is, oh, that works. That works. And then that one will go with this one. And he's going to have his own little broom, of course. Love it. Maybe he's also, because he's got multiple legs, so he can also be holding his little, do that. Action wobbles for the win. Just adding it to the supply list, because otherwise I'll forget. Okay, I've added them to the visual supply list. And oh, get off of there. Why are you being stupid? There we go. Save. Okay, added them to the supply list. Gonna have them do action wobbles as well. Okay, so that'll be that guy. This guy will have, we're going to put him on there. Probably going to stick a couple of these like that. I got to figure out how I'm going to spooky. Let's do trick or treat on this one. Spooky wishes on that one. We'll put those two on there. We need two more for the inside. So we're going to do that one. And then we'll do this guy. And then we'll put... Yep. Yep. That's going to work. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we got those. And then we'll put this one with that one. So we need a sentiment on the inside of this card. So if we had Hocus Pocus, and then we'll do Halloween Greetings. So now we're in the home stretch. Okay. So there we go. Let's stamp. Yep. Because all the insides got to have something. You guys know I got to put something on the insides. So we'll stamp this one with the black ink. Like that. And then we will do, so that's that guy. Do that. Just set those there for a second. I need a card base for that guy. The bonus card. There we go. Okay. And then for this guy, we're doing Spooky Wishes. And then I'll probably just do the inside the same as the other one because I kind of think that's cute. Yeah, that was my plan, wasn't it? And then I was going to add, I already lost it. I don't know what I did with him. Where did he go? He's around here somewhere. He's around here somewhere. I'll find him in a second. So yeah, I'll do the inside of this one the same as the other one because I don't need to reinvent the wheel for every single card I'm doing. Okay. So we'll just stamp that one with the boo to you. Like that. And then wipe off that stamp so I don't lose him. Okay. There we go. And then put my stamps away so I don't lose anything. Okay, that one's done. That one has it. Where did the last one go? There he is. He was stuck to the back of the card. Okay. Okay. So we're going to adhere my little candy corn spider to the inside of this one. And then in order, get that out of there for now, to adhere this to the card base, what I like to do with flat shakers is I like using, you can use the regular Terrific tape that I use, like the 1/4 inch. I have big rolls of score tape. I have the Altenew stuff as well. They all work the same. They're great. So the wider rolls, I like to use this because this just seals up the back of my flat shakers so that things aren't going to fall out, you know, because you just don't want to. So if I put a bit onto here, like so, And like so. Ooh, I made that just slightly too big. There we go. There we go. Good enough. And then we're gonna stick that like that. Okay. So now everything, like the corners are sealed up. This is not going anywhere. And then I need to fix this fold because I didn't do a very good job. And yes, there are other makers have shown this, like lining up your card base, like with the corner, your Score Buddy or your Misty, you know, just a corner, and then like lining things up like that. I've tried it. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. I would rather just freehand it and be crazy and take the risk, you know? But yeah, I tried it once and it just, I got it more crooked. I ended up having to completely redo it. I was so annoyed and I was like, it works for everyone else but me. Okay, so there we go. So we've got that. And I just need to, because with this you get one shot. There we go. There's our flat shaker. Love it. Okay. So, to adhere all our little dudes, I'm actually just going to use pieces of the score tape because, again, not only are we adhering to plastic, we're adhering on top of glitter. And liquid glue will work. Again, it'll work, but you need to let it dry. And I just, who's got the patience for that? I don't. So, I'm just going to do this and put bits of score tape on the back of this. And then whatever little bit hangs over. So I've got score tape. And again, what you could do is after coloring these, when it's still in the full sheet before die cutting, is I could have put the double-sided, if I'd been thinking, I could have put the double-sided adhesive on the back of the cardstock, then die cut it, and then peeled it off, and they would have been, yeah, that would have worked. But did Amy think of that ahead of time? No. So instead we do this. So anyway, do as I say, not as I do. Which applies to so many things in life. This is starting out so cute. I'm having so much fun. I hope you guys are having fun. I'm having a blast, if you couldn't tell. Okay, we need a little bit of glue right there for our little dude so that he's got his little, got your little broom. Yep, just like that. We've got our broom. And then we can just take perfect. And that one, you can even do just a thin little, there we go. Fabulous. Okay. Patience? Don't know them. I know, right? Okay. So then stick that guy right there. Stick that one. And you know what? For the sentiments, I'll show it. I'll show what I was talking about because that'll actually be easier. because these are a little finicky. So what we will do is I need a piece of cardstock. So my sentiments are going to get triple stacked. Ha! Ha! That'll work. Okay. I need my 3 die cuts because I might as well do all 3, even though I don't really need to do all 3. Okay. So I got my 3 die cuts. I only need this much cardstock. So we'll go like this. So we got our cardstock. Let me put this away. And then I've got a piece of the adhesive paper. Do I have a narrower piece? Oh, I do. I do. Just like my how perfect. Just like all my specialty stuff, I keep every little piece of everything. Okay. This'll work. It's good enough. It doesn't need to be perfect, as usual. So, take the double-sided adhesive sheet, peel off the backing. So now I've got like sticky. Gonna stick that to the back of this. I'm gonna trim off the excess because I don't want this sticking to like my die cut plate. That would not be fun. Good enough. Good enough. Don't need that. And then I can run this through my die cut machine. And this will put adhesive on the back of the cardstock. So run that through. What about your Xyron? I could use that too. Xyron works as well. This Altenew stuff that was stickier than a Xyron adhesive in my opinion. But yes, but running this through, I wouldn't run this through my Xyron. I've shown other tips and tricks in the past because you need to trace around it afterwards. Because otherwise you end up with the glue goobers everywhere. It's a mess. It's not fun. Okay. So. It doesn't need to be perfect because it's a little finicky right here. So it might peel some of the backing with it, but I don't care. I don't care. Okay. So I've got adhesive on the back of this. So I'm going to glue this to the back of the sentiment that I already stacked. Burp, burp, like this. Oh, we are going a little bit longer than I had intended. I got really into it today, you guys. Okay. So now it's stacked and it has the sticky adhesive on the back of it. So all I got to do is peel that off. Oh, love it. And then look at him. It's glittery and shaky. It's so cute. This was so fun. Okay, let's do the other ones. I love it. Okay, so that's done. And then we'll do this guy. And for this one, same thing. Just pop that out of there. Put my little die cut back. Okay, and then adhere this to the back of my sentiment. And then, there we go. Love it. Okay. So for these guys, I'm gonna pop, where's my thin form of foam squares? They're there. Okay. A couple of these I'm gonna pop with him. You know, let's put an action model on the back of him too, because why not? Okay, so this guy we're just gonna pop up with some thin foam squares like this. And then, so we'll do that with that one. I'll do the same thing with my little pumpkins here. Pop some foam squares onto them. Like that. And then do 2 on the edge of this one. There we go. Got that. And then this guy, I gotta glue him in place first. So he's holding his little doohickey. Let that glue dry. So I'll let that sit for a second. We'll come back to him in a second because I got to do the same thing with this guy. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to glue the little witch's broom to that. Like that. A little bit more glue right there. Okay. And then I was just wondering if you use alcohol neon inks. I haven't used them yet. I have them. Haven't used them yet. Haven't even opened them. And then we'll glue that to the back of that guy. Like that. Okay. And then same thing. He needs to sit. Let that glue dry. We'll come back to him. So let's... Okay. So where did I put them? Action wobbles. These are mini action wobbles. They just come like this. And these are the little ones. And they go flat, which is really, really nice. Why is my hair being weird? Anyway. Okay. So, also, again, peel off the adhesive. Or the backing of the adhesive. Just like so. I always like... Okay. He's going there. I'm going to put that sentiment right there. Press it in. Now the action wobble. You peel off the backing. And then I'm going to stick him to my little guy. And press him in really, really well. Like this. And then I'm going to peel off this bit. Just like so. So it exposes the adhesive. And then because I'm adhering on top of glitter, I'm going to kind of go underneath and press down really well to make sure that wobbler and the best thing is, like I said, it goes flat. So when you pop this in an envelope, this doesn't add like hardly any bulk. And yes, Deborah, I was checking for spiders. I thought it was like the way my hair was just being weird. And I was like, is there something crawling on me? Because it's happened. Spiders drop from the ceiling here in the garage. Love it. Love that for me. So there's my little wobbler. And then we'll do that again with this one. So, gotta take our die cut sentiment. There we go. Put the wafer die back where he belongs so that I don't lose him. Also don't need that. We'll glue this one to the back of the sentiment. Doop, 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 doop. Doop, doop, doop. Blop, blop, blop. There we go. Stick that on there. There we go. thought your air conditioner was leaking. Like, no, our air conditioning unit's completely different thing. Um, ours is run through central air, so our air conditioning unit's in the basement. So no worries with that. Okay, so we got that, and then we just got to peel off the backing. So then this one is also self-adhesive. Fabulous. And then I can cover up where I smeared the purple splatter. So I can line that up. And you wouldn't even know, except for those of you that watched this, you wouldn't even know that I did it. There we go. And then this guy will also get a wobbler because too cute. So again, you peel off the backing and I press it onto my guy really good. Press it in and then pop off the backing of this side like so. There we go. And then we're going to stick him. And then same thing, because I'm adhering it on top of the glitter spider web. Just going to go underneath it and burnish that adhesive really, really well into the cardstock and over the glitter. Ah, these are fun, you guys. I had fun. We made 3 cards in one live. 3. Let me... There's such a mess. Oh my god. Okay. We did 3 cards and they were so much fun. Do I even need to say anything else? Like, you know? Oh, and then little spider. I missed him. Whoops. He goes on the inside. He was stuck to the back of it. That's why. Okay. Got to finish the inside. Add the adhesive. Glue him on. Now they're officially done because you got to have the insides. I still managed to get splatter on the inside of this one. Good job. Who cares? Yeah. So the insides are all super cute. Those 2 I did the same. That one's just... And then these 2 have wobblers. Love it. And then, yeah, the wobblers are flat. Like they pop up and they stay flat. So those 2 got the wobblers. And then this one, of course, we did the flat shaker with all the shakery bits in it and then applied the double-sided die cut adhesive on top. Like this is on top of the shaker. I love it. And then all the glitter. This was fun. I'm so glad this turned out. I'm going to have to do this again. This was so fun. So yeah. 3 cards in one live. Complete chaos. Complete chaos. Seriously, I have a disaster to clean up now. So much fun. But let me just kind of do this, I guess. We'll kind of go like that. Let's see if I can switch over to my dual screen. There we go. There we go. Not bad. Not bad. 2 hours, 3 cards, flat shaker, action wobblers, loose glitter, 3 types of splatter. This was fun. And my hair's a mess and there's no spiders in it, thank goodness. So we're good. So yeah, I obviously had a ton of fun. Why is my laptop now being like... Okay. We're still live. Everything's still good. Yeah. This was a really fun bonus live. Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk? This was great. So as usual, 1, thank you guys for hanging out with me, you know, and tuning in. And to those on the replay, as always, I appreciate you guys as well. and I will do the like the photos and the social medias and stuff. Yeah, I think I have time to get it done tonight because I am still planning on doing my regularly scheduled live at 2 p.m. Central tomorrow because on Sundays we go live. It's kind of like on Wednesdays we wear pink, on Sundays we go live, 2 p.m. Central. Um, so yeah, I appreciate all of you. This was fun and it was a good chat, and I appreciate the sorry, my brain stopped because I was like, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the super chats. And yeah, this live will get added to the Halloween 2025 playlist, and there'll be more. Tomorrow, I don't think it's going to be Halloween themed. Probably not. I like to mix it up a bit and not just do like, although I know some of you are just like, bring it on, Halloween constant, But yeah, I don't think tomorrow will be Halloween themed. I'm not even 100% sure yet what we're going to do. Well, I'll figure it out like I always do. Okay, Halloween greetings. That's where this goes. So yeah, I appreciate all of you. Is it a full moon tonight? Who would know? Ginny, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. My glasses are like slipping off my face. I'm an oily mess. And yes, Ramona, like with everything, and I say this a lot, when it comes to card making, like it's just paper. It's paper and nothing technically is the end of the world. It's a little bit different when I'm live and there's an audience and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, But even then, if this hadn't turned out, we still would have had 2 other cards. Dumb luck. It turned out pretty cool. I think this is one of the most fun flat shakers I've ever made. Like, this was fun. This was a lot of fun. So, yeah. Oh, fun. Full moon tonight. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So, yeah, I'll be live. The plan still is to be live at 2 p.m. tomorrow, barring chaos. Guys, because sometimes things just go sideways. And there was something else I was going to, don't want to lose that. What else was I going to say? I can't remember. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, yeah, I also, because I want to get this done so that Chris and I can watch another episode of Wednesday. Because we started watching that. I'm kind of annoyed that they split it into 2 parts. I really hate that format. Either do it weekly or give the whole season, because the second part of the Wednesday second season isn't coming out till September. And I'm really annoyed by that because we don't get time to watch like anything in September because Stamptember is coming, you guys. It is going to be, I'm sure, amazing and crazy and chaotic, and we'll see. I have nothing to add to that, but for those that might not be aware, it's an exclusive month-long celebration that Simon Says Stamp puts on with a ton of limited edition collaborations, and it's fun and chaotic. And makers like me that work with Simon Says Stamp, most years I do 50 plus videos for September. It's nuts. It's fun, but it's nuts. So I won't get to watch the second part of Wednesday until like October probably. So anyway, well, the unpaid intern and I are going to watch a show. So I'm going to get this done. I'm going to clean up my mess because I've got just stuff everywhere. I was throwing it around like a crazy person. So yeah, everything's going to be loads of fun, but we still got some time before that. I still got all kinds of other plans and videos and things to share with you guys. And, yeah, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys a lot. Oh, and I also wanted to say publicly, I love just me starting the Halloween series last week, or this week, whatever. Because I've done 2 videos so far. I did that other one, where'd that card go? Yeah, I did this one, which again, purple theme. That's my thing right now, whatever. And then I did the mushroom one. And just the outpouring, like all the comments. I read every single comment. I read all of them. I heart them all here on YouTube, so you guys know. It really made my day. The excitement from so many. You guys were so excited, and I was like, I loved it. My phone, all the notifications popping up and all the just happy comments and excitement, and I was just like, yes, it's fun. It's fun. I love it. So, I appreciate you guys. It's been good. It's been a good week. It's been chaotic, but it's been good. So, yeah, I got all kinds of ideas and all kinds of just things, and yeah, that is it for me. I'm going to clean up my mess, hopefully get the photos and stuff for this and get everything posted. And then I've got the video, like the other one. This one is linked already in the description box below the video. And then I linked to Carly's video that inspired me with the like clear sparkly spider webs. They're so fun. So I linked to her video. That's in the description below. And then if you want even more inspiration with this Pretty Pink Posh release, because this I've just touched it. We will have an Instagram hop coming in a few days, and it's multiple days of Instagram hops, like a lot of designers. And so I'll have another video. And then in the video that this is linked in, this one, that's also a video hop. So there's several other makers that did videos with this release. So many good ideas. I need more time to watch everyone's videos. So that is all of the housekeeping. And yep, I'm caught up on everything. I appreciate all of you. Hopefully my Halloween outro will work because I added it to my software. And yeah, I will see a lot of you tomorrow here live, 2 p.m. Central. And if not, you guys can catch it on the replay. And then I'll see y'all in another video. So I hope you guys have a great night. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!